Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a continued passion for public television, we are proud to underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES television.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tucker, of course, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hey, Peg.
Hi. It has been far too long. Jenny Hamilton, Executive Director of the New Orleans Ballet Association, kicking off a brand new season this weekend, huh?
Hi, Peggy.
Yay. Very, very good. And we are so thrilled. Pianist, composer Dom Pipkin, one critic calls him the soul of New Orleans in the UK. And he is based in London, but he's playing for us tonight and around town in New Orleans for the next few days. So he's in our studio, the Corman studio. Hi, Dom. Welcome.
Hey, hello, Peggy.
Hello. And also with us, Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. Welcome,
Hey,
Alan, once again. Poppy, one neighborhood bar is celebrating an anniversary.
You know, Peggy, remember when you'd go to a bar and you'd have like a highball or a gin and tonic? You know, believe it or not, 12 years ago, it was quite revolutionary when T. Cole Newton opened up 12 Mile Limit over in Mid-City on Telemachus. And his concept there was a craft cocktail dive bar. And he was basically serving craft cocktails, as he does still today, that are so finely crafted, you would find it at the most expensive of the craft cocktail bars. But he's very proud of his dive bar, and we're very proud of Cole celebrating those 12 years. They're having a big party tomorrow night. There's no cover. Costumes and PJs are included, and it's going to be a great time. Cole is the president of the U.S. Bartenders Guild right now, too. So he's really somebody to know, and I love that, Cole.
So that's Saturday night.
And then, of course, one of the remarkable things to remember about 12 Mile Limit is that was where we first met Debbie Does Dauberge. She was selling her little Dauberge squares there before any of it happened. Well, she actually then, several years ago, opened up the bakery bar, she and Charles Mary. They have a new chef who is somebody to really know. Her name is Lydia Soleno. You might have had a taste of her food at Bacchanal, but what she's done on the menu there, I always think of the bakery bar, it's Dauberge. Well, let me tell you what, those are the most incredible oxtail croquettes, the best croquette I ever tasted. The oxtail is cooked sous vide in red wine for 24 hours before it goes into this crusty yumminess. Oh my gosh, it's good. There's flawless mussels, and one of the things Chef Lydia does is that she combines surprising flavors that are fresh and new. Banana leaves and a little candied orange are an accent in that dish. It was wonderful. The best mussels I've had in memory. And oh gosh, one of my favorite things. Everybody knows I love the bone. So the bone marrow is always my first choice with chimichurri and some black and confit garlic. And of course, Charlotte's Dauberge, her Dauberge slices, her Dauberge squares. They're closed Mondays, but they're open the rest of the days of the week. Brunch is coming very soon. And don't forget, there's always Debbie on the Levee in Kenner. And then there is a new, oh my gosh, the flan. I almost forgot Chef Lydia's flan. It was chocolate. It was, I've never tasted any, if you were a flan lover, do yourself a favor. Forget the Dauberge for once. Go have Chef Lydia's flan. It's out of this world. And now back to the raffle that you simply must get a ticket for. Peggy, this is up your alley. It's Dinner for Two. They're calling it the NOLA 52, the Big Eat. This is a fundraiser for the New Orleans Opera Association. It is dinner for two for a year. And so single tickets are $100. You can get 6 chances for $500. The restaurants participating are Antoine's, Mandina's, Commander's, Compère La Peine, Chemin à la Mer. I mean, very fine places, and Joey K's. The winner will be picked on Sunday, November 20th at the intermission of Hansel and Gretel. And I'm going to be the one putting my hand in the hat. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at Hansel and Gretel this year.
You know, just when you thought everybody had come up with ways to make money, to try to raise money for nonprofits, I'd never heard of that before. What a good idea.
This is a total fresh idea.
Very fresh.
Bravo to the New Orleans Opera Association.
Right. Thank you so much. And moving over to Jenny. Wow, you're kicking off a new season with really an amazing group and a miracle that they're even going to be here, huh?
They are, Peggy. It's Kyiv City Ballet, and this was a young company out of Kyiv that left the city on February the 23rd and was flying to France for a 3-week tour. And of course, their country was invaded the next day. So France and Paris and the UK, they have been touring around and performing while they have been harbored and taken care of by the world. And so when they were going to put together a U.S. tour and come to the United States for the very first time, we actually already had something scheduled in October, and we said, nope, we're going to postpone that to next year so that we can be able to be here for this company and take care of them.
Wow.
So they're going to be here on October 22nd. Then on November the 4th and 5th, we have Ronald K Brown Evidence. This is one of New Orleans' favorite companies. Of course, Ronald K Brown, called by the New York Times, is one of the greatest choreographers of any generation. His work is very much a fusion of West African, modern dance, and he is singularly one of the most recognized names in the world of dance as a choreographer today. That is going to be at NOCA, and then a collaboration and partnership with the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts over there. Then in January, we welcome back one of the funniest nights that you will ever have at the ballet, a company founded in 1974 that has become a global phenomenon. They're one of the most toured American companies in the world. And yes, they are men in point shoes. And yes, they will do things in those point shoes that you didn't think was possible. They're extraordinarily technically efficient dancers, and with a program that is sure to be as awe-inspiring and funny all at the same time. So that's, and they have not been here since 2010.
Wow.
And they were actually scheduled to be here in April of 2020, but were unfortunately canceled. Due to that. So you have to come see Ballet Trocadero again. We're already selling tickets like crazy for that show for everyone who wants to see this company. And of course, one of the first companies that I marketed when I became director of marketing here back in the early 1990s was a company called Momix. And they've been here, one of New Orleans' favorite companies. They've created a brand new show called Alice, and it is based on Alice in Wonderland. And they will be here, and as you can see, this is very much not your normal dance company. This is a combination of, they are dance illusionists, a combination of props and scenery and lighting and shadow effects and beautiful, beautiful artistry. Moses Pendleton, the artistic director, it's very much, getting into the mind of Moses is very much a creative endeavor for sure. He is one of the most brilliant human beings alive. Then we're going to close on April 22nd with the State Ballet of Georgia. This is the national company of the country of Georgia. They're based in Tbilisi, in the capital there, and founded way, way back, but their new artistic director as of 2004 is Nina Ananiashvili, and she was a world-renowned premier ballerina with American Ballet Theatre, Royal Ballet, Bolshoi Ballet, and she returned in 2004 to take over this company, and they will be here in April. So we're very, very excited to have all of these companies coming back. The State Ballet of Georgia will only be in 4 cities in the United States, so we're very fortunate to have them here with us in April.
Oh, that's wonderful. And most of the performances will be at the Mahalia Jackson,
yes,
except for Brown.
Except for Ronald K. Brown will be at NOCA.
At the NOCA, Frida Lupin, who we all remember fondly.
Yes, we sure do.
The Lupin Theater. And we do know, though, Jenny, that not only are you a presenting organization, but you do a lot of community work throughout the year for the ballet.
We do. We provide right now about over 100 free dance classes in the community in 3 parishes. It's set at up to 13 community locations for ages 4 to all the way to 80 plus. Programs for senior citizens, dance for Parkinson's youth. So a child can walk into a center at 4 years old and receive all tuition-free dance training all the way up through our pre-professional program at 18, and then go off and dance professionally if they want to.
Some more information, Nobadance.
At Nobadance.com.
I love the way that, you know, trills off the tongue. Nobadance.
Nobadance.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you and welcome back.
Thank
Glad
you,
to
Peggy.
see you. And over to our studio, our Corman studio, near this studio that we're in. Dom, it's great to have you with us, and we want to thank Jimmy Anselmo for putting us together. Longtime club member and owner. He's part of the New Orleans scene, and we're glad that he put us together here. But Dom, you obviously were very inspired by, my goodness, James Booker and Professor Longhair. These names are very, very well known to us here. So when did this happen? Were you a teenager, or how did it happen?
I was a little older than that. I was kind of a music student at the time at the Royal Academy of Music, and I was playing in a lot of blues bands, and I was in one of them, and most people, you know, they play a kind of Chicago flavor of blues, and my friend Adam Blake gave me a cassette tape back in those days, and it had on these extraordinary characters. Professor Longhair didn't actually have Booker on it. I didn't discover Booker until a few years later, but it had Professor Longhair, Huey Piano Smith, the Dirty Dozen Brass Band, and it was especially and Dr. John as well. And hearing that style of piano playing just completely blew my mind. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Well, what's so intriguing about your performance, and that's next Thursday at the Maple Leaf, as we know, James Booker, that was his home pretty much when he wasn't traveling, and he is so missed. But tell us what you're going to do that night.
On that night, like you say, it is very, very associated with the wonderful spirit of James Booker, and he used to play there, you know, weekly. It was probably just a standard kind of gig for him. He was probably like, oh, yeah, here I go again, you know. But, yeah. And it's impossible to play one of those sessions without putting a lot of his music in. So I'll be mixing up a whole bunch of his favorite tunes, all these funny little instrumentals, Pixie, Put Out the Light, all these Papa Was a Rascal kind of tunes, and also my own stuff, because I've found that a lot of my own instrumental and songwriting has been influenced by that kind of piano style that Booker laid out.
Now, so you play all around the world, but primarily you're based in London, or tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm a London-based musician. I have what I'd like to describe as a day job, and my day job is that I play in the British band Morcheeba, who made a very big, what you call trip-hop album back in 1998. The album was called Big Calm, and I played on that. And they gave me my first taste of international touring. And coming here to play today on Stepping Out, I've just come off a 3-week tour of Canada and North America on a tour bus.
Wow, and you have your own band called the Icos?
The Icos, yeah. We're so fundamentally inspired by the sounds of New Orleans, I had to call the band the Icos.
Well, we're thrilled about that. Well, tell us what you're going to play for us tonight.
Right now I'm going to play you a song I wrote called Smile and Get On Down, which is a song that's kind of very necessary for us all to remember when times are hard, and yeah, you kind of put on that smile and get on down.
Take it away. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You know you'll hear my story. Don't know if you're the same. Might have done the same thing. I'll give you all the blame. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna smile. Get on down. Been all around the world now. Seen all kinds of things. None of it can compare to the love my honey brings. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna smile. Gonna smile. Get on down. down. Yes, I will. Rats all in my kitchen. Tell me what to do. One of these days, all of this comes swinging back to you, and you know you're gonna smile. You're gonna smile. You're gonna smile. Get on down. Gonna smile, yeah. I'm gonna smile, yeah. Oh yeah, gonna smile. Everybody's gonna smile. Even Liz Truss is gonna smile. And y'all gonna smile. Gonna smile and get on down. All right.
Thank you, Dom. I love the special ending on that, too. Once again, though, Thursday night, it's very much inspired by Mr. Booker that he's going to be playing at the Maple Leaf. Also, you can download music at Dom's website. Tell us what the website is, sir.
The website is dompipkin.com.
Okay, dompipkin.com. There you go. Thank you so much, and I know you're going to close us out a little later.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. And now over to Ellen.
Well, Peggy Gab Reisman, that's the playwright who hails from and writes about quirky New Orleans, took her inspiration from Anton Chekhov and the play The Seagull and reset it on the North Shore, believe it or not. Liz Argus plays Irene Andropont, a successful actress, and Garrett Frazion is Barry Tishman, who is a famous writer. They are great, coming back as a husband and wife team. Irene's son is Connie, short for Constantine, a troubled would-be playwright played by Ross Brill. And he's in love with the teenager Nina, who is played by P.J. Ruffins. Now, Brill plays this tortured, suicidal playwright with finesse. Wonderful part for him. But Natalie Boyd plays Mandy Hebert. Now, keep up now. She's in love with Connie, and she confides with Barry, his stepfather, who's infatuated with Nina. Again, we see Nina with Irene's father, and Pete, played by Carl Daguerpont, is an aged alcoholic gay man who wishes to be back at the French Quarter, his domain, along with Carrie Armstead here at the right, in love with Mandy. Again, she treats him, however, rather not nicely, as more or less like a dog. You just have to figure it out. One of the interesting aspects of the outdoor show is the set, which uses a stage for Nina in the performance, and then later is converted into a bar. How wonderful. The North Shore home is where the action takes place later on in the show. Polly Hebert, played by Mandy Zerkenbach, co-manages the North Shore estate with her husband, but she's having an affair with the doctor, Yvette Dorn, who attends to Pete. So the consequences of all these different loves is expressed, and especially between Nina and Barry in the fourth and third acts. The fourth act takes place 2 years later. This is a relationship between all sorts of people, but especially between Connie, what we call tough love. It's both one of tenderness and tough love. Gab Reisman really has humor. She has pathos. She has tragedy, all culled from this Russian classic. And tickets are still available. Don't forget.
Now, it's at City Park. We should
bring your own chair. That's correct. That's what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay, great.
So check that out. Now, meanwhile, if you want to see more and learn more about the play, Gab Reisman will be my guest along with two of the players. That's going to be Natalie Boyd and Liz Argus on my NOLA Theater Talk Show. Again, that's where you can see it on Facebook and on YouTube coming up this Monday. Now, if there's any indication that the pandemic is well over and in our rear view mirrors. It's the incredible number of openings for plays that's happening this coming week. And one musical besides the plays. First of all, Fat Squirrel Productions presents, and I'm going to have to tell you the whole world premiere name. Here it is. Justin Maxwell's latest play, The Canopic Jar of My Sins, a medieval morality play for latter-day postmodernists. By the time you finish saying the name of the work, you may have missed it. The play, which stars Becca Chapman as the Goonie Revenant there and Cammie West as the Roger Waters, is now open. I'll review it next week. That's at the Fortress of Lushington. Also opening is the award-winning The Play That Goes Wrong. That's at Le Petit Theater, and they're going to be opening tomorrow night. I'll have that review next week as well. And for my third review next week, I'll be seeing the best little whorehouse in Texas. That's the Chicken Ranch at Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts. Again, all of this is happening now on the theaters here in New Orleans and in Kenner. Moving on, I have to let everybody know about Goat in the Road. Now, I know, Peggy, you were just recently at the BK House. This is the Beauregard Kai's house. Tickets are available online. They're $40 each. This is an immersive play. You get to hear the people in costume talk about what was going on during this strike in New Orleans back in the 19th century. So I want everybody to check this out. This is very similar to a play that they had not too long ago, right, that was shut down during the pandemic. And again, everybody's in costume, everybody's talking about what's going on, and it's all historically, factually based. So check that out again. Goat in the Road, The Family Line. And by the way, Halloween is coming up. We wouldn't be Halloween without the Rocky Horror Picture Show somewhere. You must RSVP for this at the Cutting Edge Theater on the North Shore. They do a really good job with this, and they also localize it. It's not just Rocky Horror, it's also dealing with the bayou and some of the creatures out there as well. So check that out. And again, the last thing I'm going to mention is that it took 20 years for it to come here, but Sarah Rule's play, Melancholy Play, is going to be presented by Loyola University. It's a 2002 work as essentially about a play of a young woman whose emotional effect on everybody essentially has them falling in love with her. Okay?
Okay, got it. Whew, that's a mouthful.
Yes.
It's amazing what's going on with theater. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, time for our picks of the week. Poppy.
Only one place to be this Sunday. The Saints aren't playing, so at 11:30 at Two Jacks, Elvira, my very darling Lana O'Day, will be back with us for the first time coming out of retirement after 2 years at Poppy's Pop-Up Drag Brunch, the Halloween edition. It's where it all started all those years ago, so there's still some seats available. Come and join us.
All right, great, thank you. Jenny.
So, of course, we want to welcome Kyiv City Ballet to New Orleans on Saturday night at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. There are tickets still available.
All right, and once again, nobadance.com.
Nobadance.com.
For all kinds of more information about that. Thank you. Dom, so you're playing on Friday. Where are you playing?
I am playing at Boothers.
All right.
Famous Boothers over on Esplanade, the back room, 7 till 10. And that's...
Is that one show or two shows?
It's like one show, but I'm doing 3 sets, so I don't know how you describe that. You know.
What a deal that is.
Absolutely.
And that's a really nice, intimate,
it's an absolute wonderful deal. And also the Maple Leaf, does that count in this week? I think it still does, the 27th.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. All right, thank you. Alan.
Well, I want to remind everybody there are only 2 shows. Jessica Scher is actually portraying Betty Davis, and it's going to be at the World War II Museum, 7 o'clock on Friday night, 2 o'clock on Sunday, and I am fortunate. I'm bringing her to the Homeless House on Saturday to check out the Betty Davis room where Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte was filmed. So I'll have a little report on that as well, but we're looking forward to doing that as well.
Okay, great. Now I have picks. All right. On Friday, the Friends of the Cabildo will present their Ghostly Galavant by Candlelight. Learn about yellow fever and events that led to the demise of some of our most notable citizens. Tour the museum, of course, with characters in period costumes, libation and music in the courtyard, timed entry every 30 minutes from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. Tours last approximately 75 minutes. Go to thefriendsofthecabildo.org for tickets and an online auction. The 27th annual Costume Boutique. That's a showcase of a vast array of one-of-a-kind creations by some of New Orleans' most famous inspired costumers, mask makers, and purveyors of vintage costumes. Among them, Cree McCree and Julie Wynn, who works for the New Orleans Opera. Vintage kimonos, too. I love those. Noon to 5, that's Saturday at the Always Lounge on St. Claude. Don't forget, Saturday night's Crew of Boo Parade, lining up along Elysian Fields near Royal and turning on to North Peters to go through the quarter and end up in the Arts District. Go to crewofboo.com for a map. Signing their books on Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. at Barnes & Noble on Veterans Boulevard. Of course, Ellen Hardiman, she is the author of Pioneering in New Orleans Television. Mickey Pfeffer, author of A New Orleans Author and King Author's Court, and that is Letters from Grace King's New England Sojourn. And Southern Ladies and Suffragists concerning Julia Ward Howe's work with women's exhibit at the 1884 World's Fair. Also signing Mary Emma Pearson, and she is the author of New Orleans, City of My Heart. Finally, Mark Stone performs with John Moody and Marilyn Barbaran this Wednesday night at the Maple Leaf, back to the Maple Leaf. And before we go, all right, Dom, what are you going to close us down with?
This is a little instrumental of my new album. This is called Mi Kaye Su Kaye.
Okay. Thank you all very much for watching. Good night.
Hey.
Okay.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
Thank you.
With a continued passion for public television, we are proud to underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES television.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org.